You have been stretching, you have been moving. Some of you have even been going to physiotherapy, doing yoga, following protocols, and your body still feels stiff, still feels locked, still aches in places that have no clear injury. Not because you're aging poorly, not because you lack flexibility, because you have been treated the wrong tissue entirely. Underneath your skin, surrounded every muscle, every organ, every nerve, is a continuous body-wide network of connective tissue. It has a name most doctors do not mention in a standard consultation. It's called fascia. And here is what the research now tells us. Fascia is not passive scaffolding. It is your body's largest sensory organ. A 2014 analysis by Stecker and colleagues found that fascial tissue contains between 6 and 10 times more mechanoreceptive nerve endings than muscle itself. 6 to 10 times. This tissue is not just holding you together. It is continuously mapping your body position, pressure, and state of threat to your brainstem in real time. When you feel stiff, the signal is almost never originating in your muscle fiber. It is originating in the connective tissue that surrounds it. And the trigger for that stiffness is something you might not expect. Before I give you the protocol, I need to explain the mechanism. Because if you skip to the exercise without understanding this, the protocol will not hold. Stay with me for the next 4 minutes. This is where the architecture becomes clear. Fascia has a direct biochemical relationship with your stress response. When cortisol remains chronically elevated, which for most adults between 35 and 60 managing high-demand life, it triggers a cascade involving a signaling protein called TGF-beta, transforming growth factor beta. This signal activates specialized cells within fascia tissue called myofibroblasts. Their function under normal acute stress is to repair injury. Under chronic stress, they overactivate. They begin contracting and densifying the fascia matrix, a process researchers describe as fascial thickening. The result is a body that feels locked. Not because your muscles are tight, because your connective tissue has physically reorganized around sustained threat signal. This affects women and men differently, but it affects both genders. For women, particularly those approaching perimenopause, decline estrogen reduces collagen synthesis. Fascia loses elasticity at the cellular level. The tissue becomes more vulnerable to densification under the same cortisol load. For men, decades of high-load movement patterns, whether physical labor or sedentary postures, creates directional fascia restriction that accumulates through the Myofibroblast chain. Most men seeking help for lower back pain are, in fact, presenting with fascia restriction rather than a structural disc problem. Here is what I want you to do right now. Place your hand on the back of your neck, not to stretch it, just to feel. Is that tissue soft and pliable under light pressure? Or does it feel dense, resistant, almost like pressed leather? That quality of tissue is a direct readout of your fascial health, and it responds to intervention faster than most people expect. There is one more layer to this that I consider essential. Fascia contains 2 types of mechanoreceptors that directly influence your autonomic nervous system. Puccini corpuscles, which respond to rapid pressure and activate a myosympathetic response, and Ruffini endings, which respond specifically to slow, sustained lateral pressure and directly activate the parasympathetic branch. This is the mechanism behind why slow, deliberate movement feels physiologically calming. It is not metaphorical. The tissue itself is a relay station between mechanical input and nervous system state. Knowing this changes how you design movement entirely. Here is the evidence-based Fascia reset protocol. 5 components, all accessible without specialist equipment. Component 1. Slow, eccentric loading. During any movement, a bodyweight squat, a step down, a shoulder press, slow the lowering phase to 3 to 4 seconds minimum. This mechanical tension stimulates fascial collagen remodeling. Research by Schleip and colleagues identifies this as a primary regenerative stimulus for fascial tissue. Component 2. Sustained compression with breath. Apply any firm surface, a foam roller, a small ball with sustained slow pressure for 90 seconds minimum per zone. While maintaining that compression, use slow diaphragmatic breathing. You are directly stimulating Ruffini endings and shifting nervous system tone simultaneously. Component 3. Hydration as a structural strategy. Fascial ground substance is approximately 70% water. When you are mildly dehydrated, fascial gliding is compromised at the cellular level. 2 liters of water minimum daily is not a wellness cliche. It is a structural requirement. Component 4. Collagen precursor nutrition. 15 grams of collagen peptides or gelatin taken with vitamin C has clinical evidence for increasing fascial collagen synthesis within 8 weeks. The vitamin C is not optional. It is the enzymatic cofactor that converts proline to hydroxyproline in the collagen chain. Component 5. Slow lateral neck release with breath. 2 minutes each side, morning and evening. Not a hard stretch, a gentle, sustained lateral tilt held while breathing slowly, directly activating the Ruffini endings in the cervical fascia and initiating a measurable parasympathetic shift. Some of you have been chasing flexibility for years. You have been told it is about muscle length, about stretching more. That story is incomplete. Your connective tissue is a sensory organ with a direct line to your nervous system. When your stress architecture is chronic, it responds accordingly. The protocol I have given you today addresses the tissue at the level of its actual biology, not the symptom, the mechanism. Start with component 2 tonight. 90 seconds on the upper back with a foam roller and slow breathe. Notice what your nervous system does in the minutes that follow. That is your data point. I will see you in my next lecture.